right, so as always with all classes, not just Zoom classes, please listen to your bodies. Yeah, just if something doesn't feel right or something's a bit painful, either adjust it, adapt it, change it, or skip it. You're very welcome to skip any parts of the class. Again, you can type into the chat window at any time to let me know if you're having issues or if you need me to explain anything again. This is going to run like a class. So we're doing like a 90-minute vinyasa class, sort of, but there's going to be more pauses than you would normally find in a vinyasa class because we're going to talk through the technique of some of these different arm balances. Forgot to tell you, you don't have to have 2 blocks, but even 1 block would be good. But you can also, for this one, believe it or not, you can use an invisible block. But if you have 1 or 2 handy, that would be great. But if you don't, totally fine. You can literally use an imaginary one for the particular, what are we doing, technique? I'm going to correct your chaturangas, basically. That's what we're using them for. Chaturanga technique with blocks. Cool. All right. I'll just, there's Rach back now. Beautiful, Rach. Perfect. Yeah, 1 is fine. You don't need to. And again, you can definitely use an imaginary one. But I'm going to be watching and making sure you're lined up on your imaginary block if you're using an imaginary one. Okay. Beautiful. Any injuries or anything going on that I should know about? Shay, just as long as it stands up like this. Yeah, but again, imaginary, I've done this with imaginary blocks as well. And also you've got me like this, like watching you. So I can tell you if you're lined up on your imaginary block. It's not, so we're not putting weight on it or anything like that. It's just to help us find our alignment of our wrists and shoulders, because I find chaturanga, when it's done correctly, is a really nice precursor to arm balances because of the weight shift forward. But most people don't do that. They don't have their weight shifting forward. So we're just going to look at that as an alignment practice during the class today. But yeah, a book or an invisible block is totally fine. Cool. Any injuries or anything? Type it into my window, your window, the chat window. Oh yeah, Shay, do you know what would work? Is like a tissue box. Is that what you just got? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that perfect. Totally fine. Yeah, so Karen, a block or a tissue box, go. And then we'll get started. But yeah, if there's anything that comes up in the class, perfect, Karen, let me know. If for some reason I have issues with my internet, because I live in the middle of nowhere, normally what happens is my face will freeze, but my voice will keep going. So just ask me to redo something again if my body has been kind of thing. I think that's all. If there's anything that you want to do that comes to mind as we go through the class, pop it in the window. Otherwise, we'll just see how much of my list we get through, basically. That's my strategy. We're going to start in child's pose. So pop yourselves over into child's, knees wide. So Beth, just make sure you've got a block or a tissue box would also work. 2 blocks, 1 block, tissue box, all of these things will work. And we are popping into child's. So please, again, change anything, adapt anything, skip anything that you need to. And for now, taking 2 deep breaths into the back of your body. So imagining you're expanding the skin on the back of your rib cage. And then coming into side child, so sort of a diagonal stretch over to the right or the left, I don't mind, and 2 deep breaths into the side of the body. And then same thing over to the other side. So side child, the opposite direction. And again, just breathing into the side of the rib cage that's closest to the top of your mat. And finally, coming into the center now and popping up onto your fingertips, dropping your chest down to the floor. So you've made little spider hands, and this time we'll breathe into the front of the body, so the front of the rib cage. 2 breaths here. Making your way up onto all fours, starting to work into our wrists. So make sure hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, and just circling the shoulders. So what I'd like to do with this one today, guys, is make like a spiral. So start kind of small and then let your circle become bigger and bigger and bigger, really finding your maximum range. And then keep going the same direction, but start to spiral inward. So now we're making a smaller and smaller circle. Do that one more time going this direction. So spiral outward, letting those circles become bigger and bigger. Go nice and slow here. And then spiral inward, letting the circles become smaller and smaller. And then we'll do the same thing other way. So change the direction of your circle or the direction of your spiral and slowly start to spiral outwards. And you can feel that shift of weight in your palms. Yeah, different parts of your palms becoming empty and full. Make your spiral small, going this way. And we'll do one more. So one more spiraling outward, making it big, go nice and slow. Keep more awareness rather than speed. So just noticing how this feels in your wrists. Where do your wrists feel tight? Where is the weight shifting in your palm? And then make the spirals a little bit smaller. Coming into some first knuckle push-ups. So keep your shoulders directly over your wrists. We're just lifting the palms and lowering them back down. If this is too hard or painful, move the shoulders back. So we're going to do 10 of these. So shoulders over wrists is ideal. Shoulders in front of wrists is very challenging, and shoulders behind wrists is the easiest option. So just find somewhere that works for you, and we're going to take 10. When you've done 10, we will move into some cat-cow, maybe like 2, because then we're going to change it slightly. So just a couple of cat-cows. This is my first thing that I've done today, so we're definitely starting a little easier. And then we're going to cat-cow, but turn your hands the other way. So flip, so palms are up to the sky, fingers down, palms down. So your fingers are pointing back to your knees. So getting into the forearms a little bit more in your cat-cow. So you're still doing cat-cow, but your hands are the opposite direction to normal. Take 2 more rounds here in this forearm variation of cat-cow. And then turn your hands back to normal. So you're just on all fours and starting off with some shrugs. So arms are straight, drop the chest down and then lift up to the top. So we are going to do the shrugs and taps that went up on the Maya Movement Instagram page, but we're doing it slightly differently today. So what I want you to do is come to the bottom of the shrug. So sink yourself down, your shoulder blades are retracted. Hold here and just tap opposite hand to opposite shoulder. So you can feel a little weight shift through your core, belly button to spine, but keep that retraction of the shoulder blades. We're going to make this harder, okay? So tuck your toes, hover your knees. So your knees are just off the floor now. Back to your shrugs, so sinking and pressing the floor away. Keeping the arms straight, keeping the knees off the floor. Come to the bottom of the shrug. Make sure hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, but knees are off the floor. You're retracting, so chest is down, opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Try and return it to the floor in a controlled way and try not to rock from side to side. You have 6 more from wherever you are now. 6 more from now. So knees are off the floor. Try not to make them quick. Notice how different one side is to the other. Make sure you stay in retraction, okay? So you're at the bottom of the shrug, bottom of the shrug. When you've done 6, I'm going to say that 6, come back downward facing dog, take a little rest. And this is my first downward dog of the day. If it is also yours, make it your own. So swish around, move the knees, move the feet, move the hips, just whatever kind of feels good. Just taking a few warming ripples through the spine. So lead from your upper back, chin to chest, come forward to plank. Hover the knees, just like we did before. 3 shrugs. So lowering down, pushing to the top, lowering down, pushing to the top. One more, lower down, push to the top, lower down, stay here, hold. So you're at the bottom of the shrug, and then press the chest back to the thighs, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Again, free form dog. Anything you want to do, go for it. We are doing exactly that again. So come to stillness, ripple forward, lead from the upper back, chin to chest. Hover the knees, they're just off the floor, 3 shrugs. Lower and lift, 2 and lift, 1. Lift, come to the bottom, stay. Press your chest back to your thighs, stay. And then lift your hips, downward facing dog, free form dog. Anything that feels good, go for it. Keep your feet where they are, hip distance apart. Lift your right leg up as high as it goes. Square off the hips for this one, okay? So your right hip bone points down to the floor. Look forward, come forward, tiger curl. Bring the knee to the chest and hold it there, hold it there. Take it up, 3-legged dog, square hips. And this time bring the knee to the right armpit. So right knee to right armpit, hold. Really try and bring the knee up towards your body. Take it up, 3-legged dog. And this time we'll take our twist. So right knee towards the left armpit. So not the elbow, the armpit. Really squeeze it up. Take it up, 3-legged dog. And this time step it in between your hands. Back knee to the floor because we're on our rest now. You can untuck your toes, drop your left hand to the floor. We'll take a couple of circles into the right arm, still just warming up into the shoulder. So really reach back behind you, palm up, and then sweep forward. We'll take 3 circles in one direction and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. Really thinking about rotating the chest to the ceiling when you turn the palm up. So 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction, and then bring the hand back down to the outside of the right foot. Starting to work into our hamstring now, pull back. Make sure your legs are on railroad tracks. So right foot is over the right side and left knee is over the left side. We're going to make this a bit more active through our hamstrings. So lifting up, hands behind your head, come as far forward as you can, balance, with a straight spine. So as far forward as you can with a straight spine. Really press your heel down into the floor and then lifting back up with a straight spine. So you can maybe look at your video, make sure it is actually straight. We have 4 of these. So just in your own time, going as low as you can with a straight spine. Keep your elbows lifted out to the side. So 4 in total. Keep pressing that right heel down into the floor. And when you've done 4, coming into a relaxed hamstring stretch. So you can relax the foot, reach the hands out as far as they go, let the head drop down. We're just holding here for a moment. Pull the right hip back a little and push the left hip forward a little. Bend into the right knee, coming into an easy twist. So left hand to the floor, right hand lifts up, look up to your right hand. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And then step your right foot to meet your left, side plank. Right foot meets left and you lift your hips up nice and high. From here, forearm plank, right arm down. So right arm comes all the way to the floor. We flip to the other side, forearm plank. Keep thinking about lifting the hips up off the floor. Coming into a normal forearm plank. So both arms to the floor. One long line from the crown of your head to your heels. Pull your belly button away from the floor, 3 shrugs. So sink the chest down, retract the shoulder blades, and then lift away from the floor, protract the shoulder blades. 2 more, down and lift, last one, down and lift. Knees to the floor, hips to the floor. Come into baby cobra. So slide your palms back in line with your ribs, rolling up here. Roll the shoulders off the floor. Head lifts, and let's go hands lift as well, right at the top here. Beautiful. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. We're going to do all that on the other side. So take a moment in your downward dog. Any movement that feels good, please feel free to take it. Two of those ripples forward. So lead from the upper back, come forward. 3 shrugs, come down and up, down and up, down and up. Hover the knees just off the floor. So slightly different to last time. Sorry, I should have said that. Press the chest back to the thighs and then lift the hips, downward facing dog. So now we're doing our shrugs in plank. Last time, ripple forward, lead from the upper back, 3 shrugs. Retract, protract, retract, protract. One more, down and up. Hover the knees just off the floor. Chest to the thighs, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Left leg this time, lift it up but square hips, keep the hips square. So the weight wants to stay relatively even between the hands. Really press your right armpit towards the floor. Knee towards the chest, tiger curl, but really try to bring it up close towards your upper body. Take it up high, 3-legged dog with square hips. Knee to the armpit, so knee to left armpit, take it out to the side, keep it high. Take it up 3-legged. And this time your left knee comes to your right armpit, not the elbow, the armpit. Take it across the body, keep it high. Take it up 3-legged dog. And this time you're going to step the foot in between the hands. Drop your back knee to the floor, and we're onto our circles. So right hand down, left arm is circling, rotating, opening the chest open, opening the chest up. 3 circles one direction, 3 circles the other direction. Taking a big breath in as you open the chest up to the ceiling. And when you've done your 3 each direction, so 6 in total, pulling back, hamstring stretch. Left foot is over the left, right knee is over to the right. Pull the left hip back, lifting up. 4 of those active lowers. So hands behind the head, make sure your spine is straight. So as if you have a tail, somebody's pulling on your tail as you lower down. 4 in total. Make sure the spine stays nice and straight. Elbows are lifted. And when you have done your 4, we're coming into our relaxed hamstring stretch. So you can soften through the foot. You can reach the hands out in front. Let the head drop down. You are still pulling the left hip back and pushing the right hip forward. So hips are square. Coming forward into our easy twist, bend into the front leg. Right hand down, left hand reaches up. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. So twisted lunge. And this will become side plank. So move your left foot back to meet your right foot. Right hand is underneath the shoulder. Side plank on the elbow. So left elbow comes down to the floor and you roll the opposite direction. Right hand lifts up. Keep your hips lifted. Normal forearm plank. Come down onto the elbows. Last round of our shrugs. So sinking the chest down, pressing the floor away. 2, keep your hips tucked under and lift. Last one, down and up. Knees to the floor, hips to the floor. This time, let's go 3 baby cobras. So bring your hands back in line with your ribs, rolling up through the chest, through the head, hands lift, and then lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, hands up, and lower back down. Last one. Making your way back to child's pose, knees wide, hands reaching out in front, and just pause here just for a moment. I'm going to start to look at our, I guess, correct form for chaturanga. Because what happens a lot in arm balances, let's sit up, let's talk, is we want to be balancing using our bones or our skeletal system rather than our muscles. So you can grab 1 block, 2 block, tissue box, don't mind. I would like it up high and behind your wrist. You don't have to use 2. You can if you're feeling very ambitious. Does that make sense? So what this is doing is it's helping your forearm be vertical. Again, this is that idea of balancing using the bones rather than the muscles. Stay on your knees and try and take a chaturanga here. So your weight really needs to shift forward as you bend the arms down and up. So again, we're just trying to find that alignment of the forearm. So your block or your tissues is just helping you. 3 in total, 3 in total. If you're feeling very ambitious, by all means, do it on your toes. So Kayla, I want the weight a lot more forward than that. So the block is actually behind your forearm. So it's on touching your wrist almost. So chaturanga, we're here, leaning forward. You can keep it really small up here, but we still want this idea of shifting the weight forward. So elbows should not touch the block. Block should be behind the forearm. Beautiful. And you know what? If you're just feeling crazy, do 1 on your toes. Go on. Keeping that same alignment. So the block is directly behind the arm. It should almost be touching the arm. So you're shifting the weight forward and then bending down. I'm going to be referring to this throughout the class. So remember this moment, okay? For now, pop the block out of the way. You can just come to sit. Let's have right leg out, left leg bent. Take a big breath in and reach up. Flex your foot, breathe out, come forward, straight spine. Same thing that we did earlier. Reach the hands down and pull with your arms. So you're using the strength of your arms to take out the curve of the spine. So when you are working on chaturanga, this is a correct form chaturanga, yeah, where our forearms are parallel. Not parallel, or parallel to the block, vertical, forearms vertical. Lifting up, bring your left knee to your chest and lie down. So you can shift the hips, left knee to the chest, lie down, half happy baby, half happy baby. And what we're going to do is be pulling the knee down just to below the armpit and then straightening the leg as much as possible. What I would like you to find, keep going, in this is a place where you can keep your hand or hands in the same place. Okay, so your hands aren't moving. You're just bending the knee, pulling it down with the arms, and then straightening the leg, but there should still be tension through the arms. We'll take 3 more like this. Let's go 3 and lift, 2, lift, last 1, lift, bring it back down, half happy baby. Right hand comes onto the left leg, foot, ankle, anywhere. Lift your head and shoulders up. Try and thread your left arm through. So like you're trying to bring your knee up behind your shoulder. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make it. Just make your best effort. Replace the right hand with the left hand. So now your left hand is holding your leg. Right hand comes out to the side, right foot off the floor. Take 3 basketball-sized circles with the right foot in one direction. And then 3 basketball-sized circles with the right foot in the other direction. Remember this position because we're now going to recreate it sitting up. So you can let go of the leg to sit up. So straight away, we're coming back to here. We're bringing the left leg up just as high as we can. Mine doesn't go on my shoulder, so don't worry if it doesn't. Bring your palms to the floor. Fingers are pointing same direction as right foot. Try and lift your butt off the floor. And then if you want to add on, try and lift your right leg off the floor as well. So this is our elephant trunk. Think about scooping out your belly, pressing your hips back. So 3 in total of these. So definitely your butt coming off the floor, and then maybe right leg coming off as well. 3 in total. Then we're going to move to the other side. Really nice, Karen. Good lift. Really scooping out through your bottom abdominals, yeah? Almost like you're trying to press your buttocks back between your wrists. 3 in total, and then we're moving to the other side. When you've done 3, we almost done 3. Yes, good, Kayla. Left leg out straight, right leg folded in. Flex your left toes, lift up nice and tall, take a breath in, breathe out, reach forward, try and reach past your foot, grab on, and then try and take a curve out of your spine. So I'm using my arms to pull and try and flatten out through my back. Same thing we just did, lifting up right knee into the chest, lie down. Right knee into the chest, lying on down, half happy baby. And again, we're just rotating between half happy baby and Supta Padangusthasana, so a hamstring stretch. So you're pulling the knee down to the armpit and then pressing the heel towards the ceiling. So just a few of these. And again, if you can find a place where you can keep your hand or hands in the same place, the same position on your leg. So just alternating between that hamstring and then getting into the hip a little bit more. Try, when you're in half happy baby, to keep your shin vertical. Two more like this. 1, push through the heel, and 2, push through the heel. This time bring it down as low as it goes. Left hand takes a hold of the right foot, ankle, heel, something. Right hand threads through. Try and get it behind the shoulder. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. Reach the left hand out to the side. Use your right arm. Press the knee down a little more. Left leg lifts. 3 basketballs one way, 3 basketballs the other way. Push your belly button down. So don't let it pouch up. Press it down. 3 circles one way, 3 circles the other way. And then remember this position coming on up, you're going to recreate it. So try and bring the right knee up over the right shoulder. It doesn't matter if it's not, so it can be down near the elbows, still fine. Hands to the floor, fingers pointing the same direction as the left toes. Lift your hips up, see if you can get your left foot off the floor. So 3 of these in total, 3 in total. Crystal, I lost you, the phone fell. But the elephant trunk looked very nice before the phone fell down. So 3 in total. Nice. Awesome. We are coming back to this. We're just taking a couple of little segues. So sitting on your backside, knees bent, feet are flat, feet are hip distance apart. Fingertips to the mat, pointing the same direction as the toes. Push into feet and hands, lift the hips up. Keep your chin tucked in for this one. So you should feel a stretch, hopefully, around the tips of the shoulders. Lower down halfway. Lift your toes off the floor. Take your hips back in between your hands, and you might find you need to move your hands a little wider, and then lift it back up to the top. So you want to make sure there's enough space between your wrists for your hips to come through. Come down halfway. Toes off the floor, hips back. This time what I'd like you to try, lift your right leg off the floor. Return, lift it back up. Lower down halfway. Toes off. Hips back. Left leg lifts up. Return. Lift it up. Guess what's coming on this one? Lower down halfway. Toes off. Hips back. Option, both legs off. And then sit yourself back down. Very good, guys. Very nice. All right. Stay like this. Bend your right knee. We're going to kind of put everything we've been doing together now. Bend your right knee. Take your right arm underneath the knee. So it's exactly what we were doing before. Yeah? This time we're going to be side on though. So your right hand comes down underneath your left thigh and your left foot is going to cross over the top of the right foot. We're leaning forward and squeezing the thighs onto the upper arm. So it's the same setup as we did for elephant trunk. Right leg comes up as high as you can. Aim for the shoulder, doesn't have to be. This time we're turning sideways. Make sure your fingers are pointing to the long edge of the mat. Your left foot comes on top of your right ankle. And what you can do is cross your feet and then cross your toes as well. So we're leaning into the fingertips and squeezing the legs onto the upper arm. It's that same thing that we did with the block in chaturanga. We want our forearms to be straight up. Good. Yes, Jeremy, try and straighten your legs now and squeeze onto your, squeeze more. So your knees are too far apart. So really like try and scissor your legs together. Like you're trying to hug your arm with your legs. You can have one more go and then we're going to try this on the other side. So Asta Vakrasana. Karen, be a seesaw. So let your upper body, your head drop down to the floor. I'm going to demo one for you here on this side. So see what happens is my head drops down in order to lift my bum up. So think about your head coming down a little bit more. And we're going to try this on the other side now. I'm going to turn this way. So left leg is coming up over the shoulder. Hands to the floor. I like to go underneath my right leg. You can also go over the top. Right foot comes on top of the left foot, lifting the hips, lowering the upper body down. So again, it really is that seesaw action, which we're going to be looking at a little bit more today. So I'll show you side on as well. So my head comes down in order to bring my bottom up. I'm trying to have my forearms straight up. So again, I've got that idea of using my bones rather than my muscles to help with the balance. So Beth, yes, yes. You were doing it. Just bring your head down a little bit more. It's there. It's totally there. Almost like you're going to bring your forehead to the floor. Just slowly. Don't do that quickly. Yes, Beth, head down, head down. You're 100% there. What I'd actually, Beth, can we try this? Keep your feet on the floor. Yeah, so in the position, feet are on the floor. Bring your head down, 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 down. Then try to bring your feet up. I'll tell you when. Head down, 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 down. Feet up, squeeze onto your arm with your thighs. Squeeze. Yes, look at this. All right, what we're going to try and do now, but I'm always about adding on, hey, is try and straighten the legs. So keep squeezing, like hold on to the arm with the legs and try and straighten them out to the sides. So yeah, you can leave your feet on the floor while we work out that seesaw action, guys. So my feet are still down as I'm bringing my head down. Once my head is down, my bum is lifted up, I can start to squeeze onto the arm, lift my feet, and straighten my legs. Squeeze the arm more, Beth, between your thighs. Yeah, lock it on more. It's still there. I'm still happy. Give that one more go if you would like, and then you can grab a drink. Squeeze onto the leg, Jeremy. Squeeze it. So see your bottom, your bottom leg is not near your arm. Grab your arm with your thighs. Yes, like that. Now try to straighten your legs, Jeremy. But don't let go of the arm. It's looking really good. It is looking really good. Guys, make fists like this. So your thumb is out and your fingernails are fully touching your palms. Come onto your knees. 2 fists, thumbs out, fingernails touching palms, and just be in every single position that you can find. Beautiful. Next little, I guess, prep exercise for our forearm balances is Lolasana. So just sit with your legs crossed. I'm going to show you from 2 different angles. Let's go right leg in front to start off with. So right leg in front. This is very similar to what we were just doing. Hands to the floor, fingertips pointing straight out in front of you. So we can use our ankles here to help press, lift the hips off the floor. But then I really want this scooping through the low belly as you take your hips back between your hands. Does that make sense? So you're going to lift, take it back, come through, lower down. If you need to add on 1 leg or 2 legs, lift up. So you lift, hips back, option, lifting the feet off. Let's go 2 or 3 with the right leg crossed in front and 2 or 3 with the left leg crossed in front. Really take the hips back through, Jeremy. So like I want a bit more of like this action. You can totally use the ankles if you want to. Karen, you do not need to use the ankles. You can take a foot off or 2 feet even. Yes, like that. Very good. Very nice. So 2 or 3 goes with the right leg in front and 2 or 3 goes with the left leg in front. So Jen and Rach, if you guys can angle your cameras down just a little bit so I can see your bodies. Yes, thank you. Nice. Beautiful. All right. So next, guys, let's just run through Bakasana just very quickly. What I like to think of for Bakasana is like 4 different variations or options or ways of doing it. So we'll start out with the easiest one. So you only need to try each of these once until you get to your level. And when you're at your level, I'd like you to try a couple of extra times. So first version has the knees on the outsides of the arms. And what I'm doing is squeezing in with my knees. So that's going to help stop my elbows splaying out to the sides. So couple of things for this. You really need your hands directly under your shoulders. We are doing the same thing that we did with the block, where we leant forward and we made our forearms vertical. So knees are on the outside. I use my legs to lift my butt up. Same thing we were just doing with the seesaw of leaning forward. And I want to lean forward so much that my forearms become perpendicular to the floor. So let's try this option. Knees are on the outside for this one. Knees are on the outside. You only have to do it once, unless this is your lane, in which case you probably have to do it a couple more times. Try and bring your big toes to touch at the top, Jeremy. Karen, did that just collapse? Does that normally do that? So again, you only have to do one. Kayla, I think your hands are a little bit too close together. Make sure they're shoulder distance apart. Jen, your hands might be a little bit close together as well. So have them a tiny bit further apart. All right, so if this one was, where you need to stop for now, by all means, do it again. Otherwise, let's try and add on. So this time, we're going to come into the armpits. So on the first one, when I faced you, you could see my knees, yeah? Because they're on the outside of my arms. On this one, you won't be able to see them because I'm putting them into my armpits. Same things. Hands are shoulder distance apart. I'm using my legs to bring my butt up. And okay, we're aiming for the armpits. It might not end up exactly armpits, but try. So aiming for armpits, leaning forward, same thing of I'm trying to bring my forearms perpendicular to the floor and my big toes to touch once I'm up. So let's give this one a go. So if you want to, you can stay with knees on the outside. If you want to add on, then you can bring the knees up as high as you can on the backs of the arms, high as you can. Good. Kayla, just make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart, yeah? Good. Again, you only have to do one. And if it feels good, great, we'll move on. If it doesn't feel good, stay with that one. Work on that one a little bit more. Next level up, we're trying to place our knees now on our elbows. So the first variation, the knees were on the outsides of the arms. The second variation, the knees were up high into the armpits. This is our third variation, and we're trying to have our knees directly over our elbows. A little bit harder, but gives you a little bit more freedom to be able to transition into other moves. Yes, Kayla. That's good. Just go nice and slow, Kayla, lifting up the foot. So really, Kayla, think about leaning into the fingertips like you're grabbing the floor with your fingers. Grab the floor with fingers, grab. Yes, nice. That was good, Kayla. Our final variation, we're adding on. Or you're staying with that, also fine. Okay, final variation is what we're going to try is take one knee off. So we're in the elbow variation. Knee comes off, it taps the other knee, and then it returns. I'm going to show you from the front and from the side. So this one, my knees are up on my elbows. And I do want to talk about this a little bit before we do it. I'm bringing one knee across and then returning. So from the side, knees are on the elbows, one knee across and returns. This one, it's a little bit like the opposite of what you want to do. Okay, so here we go. Let's say I'm going to move this knee. Okay, pretend I'm in the pose. Go with it. All right. So I'm going to move this knee. So what I need to do is lean into this hand. So what happens mostly when we try to weight shift is the knee comes off, everything leans over here, and away we go over this way. So if I'm lifting this knee, I need to lean into this hand a lot. Does that make sense? Do you need me to demo again? What do you need? We're just going to give it a little bit of a go, or you can work on one of the other levels that we were doing earlier. So Jeremy, your hips are very low in Bakasana anyway. Can you put me to the side of you? Oh, okay, or you, yeah, or you just turn side on. That would also, yep, great. That was heaps better. Never mind. You just had to go side on. That was the problem. Yep. So tiny bit slower on the return, Jeremy. That's all. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other, Kayla. Yes. Yes, Kayla, these are looking nice. Kayla, you just need to just lean. It's like this much more. You need to lean into your fingertips. Very small amount more. Do you see my fingers? Very small. But really lean into them just a little bit more. That's it. And press the fingertips hard. Press the fingers. Yes, Kayla, that's looking so good. Yeah, so it's like you're falling and then your fingers are like, don't fall. Guys, we have one more, but not really. So this is a forearm crow. So it's weird. The reason I like to teach it at this point in the class is because we're really going to start to get into this seesaw idea of head down, bum up. So in this one, your head has to be well down. All right. Like you're like this with the floor. Okay. It looks weird. It's a bit weird to get into. Just go with it. One of my friends calls it the ugly. So there you go. You get a vibe of how attractive it is. So it's forearm crow. So for this one, remember the first variation where we had knees on the outside? It's that, okay? So forearms down to the floor. Make sure the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Your hands can come in towards each other a little bit, and that's going to be easier. So hands come in a little bit. Elbows are under shoulders, hands come in. So you're bringing your knees up onto the outsides, but okay, hang on. Look at my face, all right? Look at my face in relationship to the floor. So you just need to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So my face is pretty much on the floor. That makes sense? Keep going. You could put your forehead down. That's also fine. We're also going to be exploring that in 1 second. So keep going forward. If your nose is not on your thumbs, you haven't gone far forward enough. Oh my God, Jeremy, are you on the back of the triceps? That's very cool. I have not even tried that. That's fabulous. So face to the floor. I love that that's my instruction. To the floor, Jen, all the way. Yes. Now try and yes. And now lift your face just off. Are your toes touching, Jen? I can't see, but I trust they are. That looks great, Jen. And by great, I mean weird, but you are doing it correctly. That was good. All right, our final little thing in this kind of Bakasana department before we move on is what we're going to try and do, is put the ugly, the forearm crow, with a normal crow. So one arm is forearm and the other arm is Bakasana arm. I'm going to demo and then we'll talk about the alignment and then I'll demo again. So see how close my face is to the floor again? This is your alignment, okay? So your elbow needs to be in line with your hand, squeezing the elbow in. So this one, it's better, easier to try and bring the knee up onto the elbow. You can try and go a little bit higher. I find it easier at the elbow. I'll demo again for you. Go the other way. So I placed my elbow down directly under my shoulder, and now I'm going to put my hands down directly under my shoulder, but in line with my elbow. I'm shifting forward. So I'm using my legs to bring my bum up and shift forward so I can bring the knee to the elbow and then the knee to the outside of the other forearm. or the other upper arm more specifically. This is our last little thing, guys, of this part of the class. Make sure you do both sides. So just alternate. Kayla, you're letting your left elbow kind of splay out from you. Think about hugging it in towards you. Yes, Jeremy. Make sure you can do both sides, Jay. M, just go a tiny bit slower. Yeah, 100% there. Everything is good. Just go a teeny bit slower. That's just why it's hard to balance. Just going a little bit fast. So a little bit slower and you're there. Please make sure you do both sides, both sides, both sides. And that was jumping. That wasn't slow. That was like jumping. The one before was better and closer. This one wasn't as good because it had the jump. Woo! How are we doing? Make the fists. Roll it out. Have a drink of water. Do what you need to do. Moving out of that section of the class and into the side crow section of the class. So jump on up to the tops of your mats, guys. Let me turn this way. Come into Tadasana with big toes to touch. And breathe in, reach out and up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, sink your hips back. We're coming to Utkatasana. So sink your hips down and back. Reach both arms up in front. Bring your hands together in prayer at the heart. And we're going to take the right elbow across. So right elbow comes across just as far as you can. It might go on the top of the knee. It might go to the outside, just wherever it can naturally go. And now just check out your knees. Make sure they are in alignment. Try and spin your heart up in line with your thumbs and sink your hips a little lower. We are going to come to this same position lying on our backs. Okay, so release, sink all the way down, come onto your back, same position, but on your back. Beautiful. Extend your right leg out and then bring it back in. 3 more times. Extend out. 3, lift up, 2, lift up, and 1, lift up. Come back to the center, roll up and down a couple of times until you can come to stand. We are back in Tadasana at the top of the mat, big toes touching. Reach both arms out and up, take a big breath in. Breathe out, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Utkatasana, sink your hips back. Reach your arms up, hold here. Hands together in prayer. And then rotate through the chest first. And then bring your left elbow down. So it might come to the top of the knee. It might come to the meeting point between the 2 knees. It might come to the outside. Just see where it naturally comes. Sink your hips down. Make sure both knees are lined up. So that left knee is probably going to try and sneak forward. Open your heart a little bit more by pushing down with your right hand. We're going to take this same position on our backs. So release the twist, sink it all the way down, come straight into the same shape, straight into the same shape. You should be able to, in theory, twist a little further across now. So maybe you can bring your left elbow all the way across. Lower the left leg this time for 4. Bring the knees back together. Lower the left leg for 3. knees back together. For 2, knees together. Last one, knees together. Release your twist. This time, rock up and down your spine and just come to a deep squat. So a little rock, and you're just coming to a deep squat at the top of your mat. So feet are together. We're going to do the same thing. Hands in prayer at the heart. Right elbow is going to come across. So twist from the waist and then see where your elbow lands. It might go on top of the knee. It might be in between the knees. It might be all the way across. For this one, guys, we'll add on through the upper body. So look over the left shoulder as well. Try and pull the insides of your ankles towards each other. Release, come back to the center. Rock onto your spine, rock back to here. So back and return to this position. Big toes to touch. Ankle bones squeezing in. Hands in prayer at the heart. This time the left elbow comes across. So rotate the upper body. Maybe the elbow's on top, maybe in between, maybe to the outside. Just see where it feels right. And this time we add on looking over the right shoulder. Squeeze the insides of the ankles towards each other. Release, come back to the center. Rock onto your back, stay on your back. So rock back, stay back. And we can even kind of lie down here. Bring the knees in towards the chest, arms out to the sides. So with this one, we're going side to side. Let's make it harder. Let's go elbows to the floor, fingertips to the sky. Go side to side. However, I want your knee tips to stay lined up. So what normally happens is when we come to the side, our knees go like this. One goes forward and one goes up. So you're just going to rock side to side. We're going to do 6, but your knee tips, the tips of your knees are going to stay exactly lined up the whole time. So elbows to the floor, knees are together. Watch the tops of your knees. So you're coming as low as you can without losing the tops of the knees being in line. 6 in total, so 3 to each side. Watch your knees. When you have done your 6, take your legs to one side, just taking a little twist. So just take a moment, let them come all the way down. It's a relaxed twist. This is one of those breaks in the class. And then elbows into the mat, fingertips to the sky, take it up and over, relaxed twist the other way. So let the arms flop, just keep it quite gentle through the legs. And back into the center. We're rocking into our deep squat. So rocking up through the spine, coming into our squat. Back to here, coming into our twist. So right elbow comes across. This time, we're not going to worry. So actually, you guys can chill. Come out of your squat. I'm going to talk. Rest. Be restful. Okay, so previously we were concentrating on really good alignment and just twisting from our core. This time, not so much. You're going to bring the right elbow across and just make it happen. Okay, so the elbow has to come across to the outside of the thigh. Our first variation, we're going to do 2, bordering on 3, but our first variation is like chaturanga. Okay, so our left elbow is going to be locked into the side. So both arms are in that chaturanga shape. So right elbows come all the way across. Left elbows in, hands to the floor, just make it happen. You can walk the feet out, whatever you need to do, make it happen, hands to the floor. I'm turning side on so you can see the seesaw effect in action, okay? Head is coming down, 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 down. All right, my feet are still on the floor. I'm shifting my weight forward. So see how I'm starting to bring my elbows up over my wrists. When my weight is forward, I can start to lift my feet off. But honestly, I can have my head on the ground for a little bit of an extra point of contact. Let's just talk about this left arm quickly. So for this variation, two kind of options, and it just depends on your mobility. Option one, you can actually maybe get it in underneath you, so you're resting on two elbows. That is not possible for everybody. So the other option is just to squeeze it in. But again, for this variation, we're in chaturanga arms. Make sense? Do you need to see it again? What do you need? So this is one, guys, seesaw. So literally bring the left side of your head down to the floor for an extra contact point. You want to shift the weight forward so your feet become light. One, maybe two of these, and then we're going to try a slightly different version. That was really good, Kayla. Jeremy, they look beautiful. Em, look at me. Yeah. Yes, beautiful, Em. That's stunning. All right, we're still playing, we're still on this move, okay? Jen, you need to shift forward dramatically. So at the moment, your elbows are still back here, but remember earlier in the class when we used the block, we really want to bring our elbows right up over our forearms. Second variation. You can keep playing with that one. I'm going to give you a few minutes. It's cool. So this time, first time, we had chaturanga arms. This time, our right arm still going to be chaturanga. It's the same. And now our left arm is coming out at this angle. So my forearm is still perpendicular to the floor. So I'm going to demo so that you know what I'm talking about. So same thing. I'm bringing my head down so that my bum can come up. But see how now my left arm is out to the side, kind of like a frame kind of shape. I'm going to demo you one from this side and then I'll come back to here. So again, just looking at how much my head goes down, 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 down. So what that's doing is it's bringing my elbow up over my wrist. So use your head as that extra little contact point. I'm going to demo one more here. So this is the, I don't know, frame variation. So right arms across, left arm is out to the side. Both forearms are trying to be perpendicular to the floor. Does that make sense? I hope. So you have a couple of minutes now to experiment with both of those arm positions. Karen, what happened? I looked away. Experiment with both those arm positions. Couple of moments. One of them is going to work better for you. I think technically the chaturanga one is easier, especially if you magically have the mobility to be able to bring that left arm in underneath you as well, because then you're just resting on both arms, but not physically possible for everybody. Beth, do the twist first. Don't do the twist later. Do the twist first. So come from here, do the twist, then put your head on the floor. Yep, so hands to the floor. Yep. Yeah, you just walk your feet out. Walk your feet this way. Just walk them. Awkwardly walk them. Yes, correct. Now keep leaning forward. Keep leaning forward. Keep leaning forward. Keep leaning forward. Forward, but your elbow, you did this with your elbow. Okay, so remember, we want the whole weight to shift this way. So what happened was you started to bring your head down, you walked your feet back, and then your elbow did this. So remember, what we want is head down, but weight going forward. So it's the same thing that we did with our yoga blocks at the start of the class. Yes, yes. Are you, sorry, Beth, are you in the frame or the chaturanga? The frame? Did you try chaturanga? I feel like chaturanga was that better? Yeah, frame just much harder, I think is in summary, frame hard. Okay, other side. Same, other side. So we're going to start with chaturanga option, okay? So we're in our little squat. The left elbow is coming across now, and the right elbow is hugging in. Bonus option, if you can get it in underneath you, great, it's easier. If you can't, that's very normal. Same thing though, we're leaning the weight forward until the forearms become perpendicular to the floor. It's the same thing that we did at the start of the class. So I'm leaning forward enough so my elbows come up over my wrists. And by all means, you can come super much far forward and bring your head to the floor to find your balance. Yes, Karen, that was good. With this one, same thing. Look at me. Just so you're not looking straight down, so it's more side of head to the floor. It's just relevant for what we're doing next. Just easier if you do it now. That's all. It's not wrong. It is not wrong. Very nice. That was very good. And then same thing, guys, we're going to try the frame variation on this side. It is harder, substantially harder. Give it a little go just so you can sort of start to feel it and sort of see the alignment. You don't have to take your feet off the floor. So left elbow is coming in, chaturanga. Right, I would call this like a normal push-up. Right arm is out to the side in the frame. But same thing, my head is going down towards the floor so that I can find that position where my forearms are straight up and down. So one of these will feel better, either the chaturanga version or the frame version will feel better for you. Make sure you turn your head that way, Beth. Yes, that way. Good, Rachel. That's really nice. And Rach, I'm just checking because I can't see your head, but your head is turned that direction, right? Beautiful. Fabulous. That's really nice. It's got good balance. Jen, just let it come forward a tiny bit more. So your elbows are just back a tiny bit. Let it come forward. You forward. Everything forward. Elbows are back a little bit too much. Oh, Jen, look at me. This direction. No, I don't. I mean literally look at me during the move. So you're looking the same direction as your legs, please. Yes. Bring side of face to floor. Yes. So same thing, Jen, I don't know if you can see, but your elbows are kind of on this angle, and we really need to get you to here so that you can hold balance. Awesome. We're actually going to, I think we're going to stay with this move and add on. This is going quite well for everybody. But if there is something else that you would prefer to do, this is A, your chance to roll out your wrists. It's B, a chance to have a quick drink. And C, your chance to say if you would like to do something else for this last little section of the class. Otherwise, I'm going to add on to side crow. I'm going to eat some hair. Okay. I'm adding on to side crow then. All right, cool. So we're going to add on the face plant, which a lot of you are doing, which is why I keep shouting, look at me, look at me. So you want your head turned the same direction as your feet. And we are resting on like here, like the side temple. So I say face plant, please do it very gently. Gently place the side of your head on the floor. But I will refer to it as a face plant because it's more fun. So it's exactly what you guys have been doing. You can do chaturanga or frame, your choice. Face plant, you've all been doing it. Then pause. You're going to shift the direction of your knees and toes. Everything is the same, but knees down, toes up, and then you're going to try and straighten one leg. So from our side crow, coming into our face plant, head turned the same direction as the feet. Knees down, toes up, and then trying to straighten one leg up. What I want though is for you to reverse the steps to come out. So I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, I made it, collapse. Okay, I want you to slowly come back through the phases to come out. I'm going to demo one here. So head is turned the same direction as the feet. Gently lower your head to the floor. Knees down, toes up. One leg tries to straighten and then reverse the whole thing to come down. Can you see it again? Yes? No? Happy? Or me do it again? Happy. All right. So really concentrate, guys. Once you've face planted, once your head is down, focus, do the direction change with the knees, then add on. Yes, Jeremy, this looks amazing. And then come back to side crow, Jeremy. Yes. Yes. Come back to a convincing side crow. Yeah, Jeremy, heaps better on the exit, heaps better. And guys, this is the end. This is the last thing we'll be doing. So just what I'll get you to do is you do one to the right, one to the left. So you're literally alternating every time you go up. Rachel, that's really good. But I want you to come back to side crow before you step down, not like down. But the move itself, which I believe is called Fallen Angel, looks beautiful. It's really nice. Back to side. No, Jeremy. Jen, just turn your head towards me. Yep. Bring the side of your head down, Jen. Yes. Now knees down, toes up. Oh, it was good. It was good. The forearms were good. It's one of the best ones you've done. That was really good. So bring your head to that position like first. Yes. Jen, I don't feel like you've got enough knee on elbow. Like it wasn't enough contact between knee and elbow. Jeremy, if you just want to add on like a split in your side crow, so just splitting your legs. Yes, M. Or actually, what I was going to do earlier and forgot. So I know this is the end of the class. It's the end of the class where everything just becomes a bit free. That's cool. The other thing you can try putting together is the first couple of things together. So we did elephant trunk, and that's this one. And what you can do is you can transition from elephant trunk to Astavakrasana, which we also did. That's the one where you cross your legs. So from your elephant trunk, lifting up, you cross the ankle on top and then start to shift your hips back and your legs out to the side. End of the class, a little bit free for all, but that's cool. So make sure you cross over, Same thing, we're bringing the head down, bum up, legs out to the side, finishing in Ashtavakrasana. Or you can keep working on fallen angel. This is legit the end. I'm not giving you any more material. But these are the last couple of things to play with. That was really good, Karen. Karen, do you have the side of your head on the floor? Yeah, okay, beautiful. Try it again. I definitely think you can straighten the leg if you haven't already. Oh, it looked good and then it didn't. Yes, Karen. Knees down, toes up. Beautiful. Yes, yes. And now, Karen, try and come back into side crow. Try. Almost. Roll out the wrist, guys. We're not done. You've got about 2 or 3 more minutes. So this is what you're playing with, either side crow to fallen angel with the leg up, or coming from elephant trunk to Ashtavakrasana. This is the end. Fully rest your head on the floor, Jen. Yeah, like really lean on the temple. Forearms are going really nice now. You've disappeared. You've just gone, oh, there you go, you're back. Good, hi. Yeah, it's really common that one side for all of these things will feel better than the other. It's usually to do which way you twist more easily is usually what it relates to. Beth. Come back to side crow, Beth. Come back to side crow. No. Challenge level 1,000 for you all. That looked great, Beth. Really good. Yes, is this the preferred side then, Em? Because this is very smooth. Nice, really, really nice. Yeah, I can see the difference. So if you haven't tried that elephant trunk to Ashtavakrasana, you can. Now is your opportunity. I feel like I did a lot on one side, so I'm going to do one on this side. You have 30 more seconds. So basically you have one more of something. So if there's something you haven't tried or something you need to do on the other side, this is your chance. Jeremy, like, I'm doing this as your teacher. Just squeeze your thighs and straighten your legs. Like you fully have the capacity, the ability, the strength, the flexibility. You're just not doing it. Squeeze, straighten. This isn't like oh no, it's not possible. This is very possible for you. I know you. Yes. Cross at the ankles. Make sure it's at the ankles. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze them together. Head down, head down. Okay, end of class. Next time I see you at start of class, we'll do this. Yeah, just this like legs together thing. No reason, to be honest, I don't think. All right, guys, you've made it to the end. Very good. How you're feeling? How's your wrists? We're going to sort those out now. So come into sizer or toe squat. Same thing that we did when we were in all our little squats. 2 things. Make sure the bottom of each toe is in contact with the floor, and then pull your inner ankles towards each other. Pull the inner ankles towards each other. And then we're going to add on for our wrists. So if you have your hands back here, it's going to be quite easy. But if you want to make it more intense, you'll start to bring your hands forward. And then we're just going to stay. So just find somewhere where you're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the right spot for me. Return your hands to normal direction. Tap out the tops of your feet. Sit back onto your heels. Take your hands the other way. So I'm pointing my fingers down to the floor, backs of the hands to the floor, and then I sink back. And have the feeling, this is a very subtle movement that you might be able to see on the screen, of pressing the backs of your hands forward. So from here, I'm just pushing forward just a little bit. Release, come out. Give your wrists a little roll. Backs of the hands towards each other. Cross one hand, doesn't matter which one, over the other. Interlace your fingers. Try and get your palms fully together. Bring your fingertips towards you and over the top. Keep your palms together. Try to straighten your arms. I can't. You keep going. Go further than me. Straighten them. Yes, Karen, like that. Yes, Jen. Bring it back towards you. We're going to do the other side. So change the cross of the hand. So now the other hand is going to cross on top. Interlace the fingers, get the palms to touch, bring the knuckles towards you, over the top, and straighten the arms. Keep the palms together. So all the way straight. So Beth, even further, unless this is it for me as well. Keep going. Yes, 100%. Kayla, can you go a little bit further? Yes. Release. Give it a little roll. Coming into our finger splits. So like your fingers are a little man. Index fingers are the front leg of the splits, and your middle finger is the back leg of the splits. And you're trying to get your finger pelvis flat to the floor, just like normal splits. Let's go. Middle fingers are the front leg of the splits. And now you've got two back legs. You've got your index finger and your ring finger as the back leg of the splits. Ring fingers are the front leg of the splits and middle fingers are the back leg of the split. Little fingers are the front leg and ring fingers are the back leg. And then finally, your thumb is the back leg and your index finger is the front leg. So you're trying to stretch out just in here. Making your way onto your back. Bring your right knee into your chest. Take it across the body into a twist. Just going to work into the right shoulder a little bit. So it's very similar to what we did at the start of the class. So your right arm or hand is going to do a big circle. So you start to circle it down towards your hip. And then your right hand comes across the body, reconnect it to the floor as soon as you can, and keep circling up overhead. So you're just drawing a massive circle with your right arm. Go slow. I want your arm to be straight and your fingers to be touching the floor for as much of the circle as possible. So just like we did in the warm-up, we'll do 3 circles in one direction and then 3 circles in the other direction. So 6 circles in total. So 3 big circles one way, right arm stays straight for as much of the circle as possible. And right fingertips are in contact with the floor for as much of the circle as possible. And as you come into your last two circles, just find somewhere in the circle that feels good, that feels like you're getting a good stretch in your right arm. It could be anywhere. And just stop there the next time you reach that point. So coming into some kind of a twist with your right arm in a good position for you. I would either like your right knee or your right shoulder blade, or both, to be on the floor. So right knee, right shoulder blade, or both. Two more big breaths here. And release, coming back into the center. We'll straight away come to the other side. So bring your left knee into your chest, right hand to the outside of the left knee, take it across the body. And you're finding those same 6 big circles with the left arm. So the left arm wants to be straight for as much of the circle as possible, and the left fingertips on the floor for as much of the circle as possible. Just go slow, just noticing what's happening in your left shoulder. So 3 big circles in one direction and 3 big circles in the opposite direction. So 3 circles one way, 3 circles the other way, and through all 6 circles, the left arm is as straight as it can be, and the left fingertips are in contact with the floor for as much of the circle as is possible. And as you come into your final couple of circles, you're just trying to find somewhere that feels good in the circle. And on your last one, you're going to stop there. So just find somewhere that feels like a good place for your left arm, could be anywhere. And then concentrate on either left knee or left shoulder blade, or both touching the floor. Two more big deep breaths. Imagine you're breathing in to the left side of the chest. And then making your way just to lie flat on your back. We're only going to spend a minute or so here. So it's not a full Shavasana, but you're just taking a moment just to let your body kind of integrate all the different shapes and poses it's just done. So close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Let the feet flop open. Have the hands a little bit away from the body with the palms turned up. Just counting 5 more big, deep breaths here. And slowly starting to move the fingers and the toes. Just starting to reawaken your body. So just moving your body the way you do when you first wake up in the morning. So maybe just taking a big stretch. Maybe bringing the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side. Rocking yourself over onto one side and just pausing there just for a moment. Taking another 2 big breaths. Karen, I have no words. Just making your way up to sit now. It's probably one of the funniest things I've seen in a Zoom class. Just for everyone's information, Karen's child, I assume, came and bounced a fit ball on her. Yeah, hi, you.
It was my husband.
No, it's even worse. So funny. All right. Thank you so much, guys. What a great way to kick off Sunday morning. Thank you. Everybody did so well. Hopefully you have some things to practice. Yeah, arm balances is just one of those things. It's just racking up time on the hands. So just doing it, don't let it go for a long time. We've done lots of good drills and exercises in this class that hopefully you can just incorporate into your practice anytime. So I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions, you can unmute or you can pop them in the chat. Now is your opportunity. Otherwise, I will see you soon because I'm going to be teaching at Maya, I think, on Wednesday nights. Woo-hoo. So I'm so excited.